Hello again everyone and welcome to GoW 3 Gameplay episode 10. Now this video I'm going to tell you right now is huge. I'm expecting it to be around 20 minutes long. And the reason for that is it's quite a long gameplay, but mainly I want to go over every single change that we've encountered or know about for Gears of War Judgment. Now, in my last videos, I've sort of given an overview of the different game modes, sort of campaign, multiplayer, so you sort of know kind of what to expect when you turn the game on. But in this video, I'm going to be telling you about all the little changes that we have from Gears 3, so you're totally 100% prepared. Now, I said that in my first video about Judgment, that I wanted you to be totally prepared when you put the game in the disc just through watching my videos. And this is the video that's going to give you most of that preparation. So basically what I'm going to be doing with this video is go through every single change that we've seen in Judgment, explain what that change is, give my opinion on it, whether it's positive or negative, what impact it might have on the game, and then just go on to the next one. Now there are a lot of changes that you probably all know about, so it is going to take some time. But I'm going to also put some annotations on the screen, probably around about now, maybe in a few seconds, just so that you can skip to whichever section that you want if you're only interested in a certain thing. Now you can listen to me for the whole 20 minutes, that's absolutely fine, I would be happy if you did that. But say you're only interested in hearing about no stopping power, you can just click the annotation and skip straight to that section of the video. And if you're on a mobile device, check out the description, because there'll be the times in the video for each section as well, because obviously annotations don't work on mobile devices. So before we start, I'll give you a little bit of a description about the gameplay that you're actually going to be watching today. This is a King of the Hill gameplay on Ravendown, and at the start it was just a bot match essentially. There was only one real player, and for the first section that you see in the video is actually just me killing a few bots. Me and Drakov were in this game, and we were just sort of messing about at this point. He did message me to say, do you want to just join another lobby? And I said, you know, let's give it one round and see if people join. Well, that was probably the biggest mistake that I think I've ever said in my life, because the people that join are just assholes. It's unbelievable, the retros, the sword-offs, you'll see in the gameplay, but needless to say, it wasn't a pleasant experience. But we decided to stick with it, and you'll see how it turns out. I'll also sort of go over a few sections of the gameplay when it happens as we go through the video, just to point out a few things. But this first round was sort of, when people join, we're maybe 50 points behind, and you'll see how it turns out. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the new control scheme for Judgment. Now really the only changes to this control scheme over Gears 3, 2 and 1 is that LB is now to throw a grenade. Down on the D-pad is to activate your TACCOM, and you have to press it down once to activate it and then press it down again to deactivate it. And Y is to switch weapons. Now that's the only change. They're the only changes. All the other buttons do exactly the same thing. And from all accounts, from people who've tried it, it's a hell of a lot easier, and I can imagine it would be too. It was always really clunky with the D-pad trying to change weapons. I know so many times I used to hit the pistol, I would change weapons randomly just through clunky fingers and stuff like that. Having to get your grenade out and not have other weapons was a bit of a pain. So being able to get that quick throw grenade off the LB will be quite handy, and you can obviously hold it to get the aim that you used to in the other game. And Y to switch weapons is going to be amazing, just one press of a button, weapon switches. If you're in a Gnasher fight and for some reason need your pistol or you run out of ammo or anything, switch your weapon, press Y straight away, really quick, really easy, and continue on with what you're doing. They're essentially, by doing this, trying to get out of your way, and not allow the control scheme to hinder or bring you down in your gameplay. Just they want to get out of your way and allow you to do what you want to do as easy and quickly as possible. And I'm looking forward to trying it out. Now, they have also made a change to the alternate control scheme, whereby X is to run and dive, and A is to take cover. And the problem with on Gears 3, from what I've heard, and when I tried it, I found this problem as well, that you had to sort of double tap one of the buttons to do one thing. So you would press A to go on to cover, then you would have to press A to come off cover, and then press X to start running. Whereas I think they've stopped that now for Gears Judgment, so you can press A to get on cover, and then press X, and that will automatically put you into a roadie run when you come off cover, which I think should be a lot better. And I'm probably going to give alternate a try when Judgment comes around. I might play a campaign with it, see what it's like, because also with X being taken up by running and diving, you have to hold RB to pick up weapons, and then obviously tapping RB reloads your gun as normal. So that's the control scheme, guys. I think it's an improvement on on the previous Gears games, and I'm looking forward to trying that out. But now let's go on to something of a more contentious subject, which is the new loadout. Now, I have to say I really like this. So if anyone doesn't like the fact that they've changed the loadout, you're not going to be happy with what I have to say, because I think it's an amazing change. But I'll tell you why, basically. So the new loadout, you can only have one starting weapon. You either have the Lancer, Retro, Hammerburst, Markser, Gnasher, or Sword Off, or the classic Hammerburst if you pre-ordered. So one of those 7 starting weapons, that's all you get, and your secondary weapon is the pistol. You also get to choose which grenade you have. Then that can be from a stim grenade, a beacon grenade, a normal frag grenade, smoke grenade, or an ink grenade. I think I've mentioned them all there. So you can choose any of those, and what you start with, you're stuck with, basically. Unless you change, you can switch out your pistol, obviously, mid-game. For if you're running with a Lancer and you see a Gnasher on the floor, you can switch out your pistol and start having the old Lancer Gnasher setup, but then as soon as you die, you'll be back to just your Lancer again and the pistol. And I do like this change, I've got to say. Now, the reason for that is the teamwork aspect of it. Say you're in a party of 5 or in a competitive game, 4v4. You're going to have specific roles for that team. You can't all just go out with your Gnasher and expect to win. You maybe need one guy as a support with the Lancer, one guy as a really long distance support with the Markser, maybe one guy with a Gnasher, maybe 2 guys with a Gnasher. Or maybe you've got one guy who likes to use the Retro and one guy who's far away with a Hammerburst, or 2 guys with a Hammerburst crossing, one guy with a Sword Off, one guy with a Gnasher, or 2 guys with a Retro, 2 guys with a Hammerburst, or all these different combinations that teams can employ to try and win the game. And these combinations are going to change, you know, throughout a game, say. You know, you can change what you have as your loadout. So you might start off with a certain strat and certain weapons, when you'll find that that's not working against the team that you're playing against, so you all change and you have different roles. But I think there's so much more scope with this kind of loadout system to have incredible, like, sort of a better meta game, if you like, and everyone has their own specific role, and it's all about adapting to what's going on the field at the time. And the addition of the grenades just only adds to that, because you could have a support player with a Lancer who also uses an ink as an area of denial, or a guy with plays a medic role, maybe with a Retro, who gets a bit closer but not that close, and can use a stim grenade. Or you might have a smoke grenade guy with a Gnasher who gets right up in people's faces, or even, you know, the beacon grenade. There's so many different combinations of things that people can have, and it allows you to play exactly how you want to play. Now, in teamwork, in sort of a team-based scenario, that is amazing, because everyone's going to have something to do, and it's all going to be, you know, it's all going to be about working together to get the best combination of weapons and grenades that will make you win the game. But I will be honest that when you're playing on your own, it might not be ideal. Having said that, them including free-for-all probably helps with this, because you know, you're not going to want to play on your own in a game of domination when you could go in free-for-all. I mean, you might, but I would, more often than not, I would rather go in free-for-all. But I can see the problem when you're on your own. And, you know, say you go out with a Gnasher, or even if say you go out with a Lancer, and you come up against a guy with a Gnasher, you're not going to be able to have a battle with him. He's just going to kill you, or you're going to run away. So, you know, I can see the problem solo, but I really, really do like this loadout change from a team sort of perspective. It's just the solo part that I do have reservations about, but we'll have to see how it plays out, I guess. One thing I will say though is that it will force the better players to try and win the game more often. Like, if they really want to win the game, they're going to have to be able to adapt to whatever everyone else is using. So say they're normally a Gnasher player, if everyone on their team, and like say they're on their own, if everyone else on their team is using a Gnasher, they will probably have to start maybe playing a support role with a Lancer or a Hammerburst or something like that, to try and get that win if the other team are a bit more organised as well. So it kind of makes the better players more all-round, I think. Well, I think that's what it will happen. I don't know whether it will certainly happen, but that's my feeling about it anyway. You know, the more all-round players who can adapt and use a variety of weapons will probably be the better ones to have on your team with this new loadout. But again, you know, we're just going to have to see how it plays out. I'm really looking forward to trying it out, especially in a team-based scenario with my friends, and see how we all meld together with different roles and things like that. But again, you know, the solo part about it is the only bit that I feel may be problematic with it. Unless everyone just uses Gnashers all the time, in which case, happy days. So I'll just take a few seconds out here just to quickly talk about the gameplay that you're watching. As you can see, we're getting absolutely destroyed in this second round. I'm sure you're seeing some of the things that are happening with retro charges and retros in general, sword-offs all over the place. Like, you can kill one guy and the next thing you know, you turn around and there's a sword-off guy right there. You just can't get away with it. Away from it, sorry. So at this point, when we were getting absolutely destroyed like this, me and Drakov were absolutely, I mean, we were so frustrated. We were just, oh my god, like, I don't think I've ever been more frustrated in a game in my life, and I was just trying my absolute hardest. And it does end up, no, I'm not going to spoil it. I'll let you see what happens on your own, but I just wanted to drop in at that point and talk about the gameplay, just to sort of get through to you how really annoyed that we were, because it was unbelievable trying to play this game. So the next topic is going to be a quick one, because I'm sure we're all very happy about it. No stopping power and no active damage. Now, for me, this is a fantastic change. Stopping power was just ridiculous, and it rewarded you even if you couldn't accurately shoot your Lancer, because it slowed people down and helped you. And active damage, it was just a bit of a fad. Like, it rewarded people just for pre-activating the shotguns, and getting rid of a few bullets was a better thing just so you could get a few actives. And this is a lot more consistent, really. You're going to have a lot better movement without stopping power. It's going to reward the more accurate players, sorry. So when you get killed from a Lancer, you know that it's because someone's actually been accurate, or you've been caught in a bad position. It's not because you've been running from one point, got slowed down, and that was the end of that. And then active damage is gone, so no more ridiculously overpowered active Lancer, or no more getting killed with a one-shot or one-shot down from a shotgun and thinking, well, he was miles away. And that was obviously because he had an active. So it's just more consistent, you know. When you're in a Gnasher battle now, you're not going to be wondering if he's got an active, or you're not going to be trying to get an active yourself. If you lose a shotgun battle, sort of one-on-one, then it's just because you lost, like, fairly. It's not because of actives or anything like that. So this is a great change, really quick. I don't think anyone will probably have anything else to say about that, because no actives and no stopping power. That's tops with me, I'm afraid. So now we move on to probably what is the most contentious change, which is the removal of down button out. Honestly, I predicted this quite early in the lifespan of Judgment, even before Judgment was announced. I think I'd been Y button executed or something or humped or something like that, and I said, after this trilogy, they're going to make some real changes to gears, and I bet they take out down button out. It was kind of a heat of the moment thing because at that moment I absolutely hated it because I'd just been Y button executed, and it felt like it slowed the game down far too much. And then when a few interviews started coming out with the people who made Judgment, who were saying, you know, we wanted to speed the game up and make some big changes because it's not part of the original trilogy anymore, that sort of reaffirmed it for me that, they might actually take this down button out. And then Arctic made a video after he'd been to the playtest and said something about veterans to the game won't be happy and things like that, or you're going to have to prepare yourself for some changes. And that again reaffirmed with me that, you know, they're definitely going to take this down button out. They're going to make it a lot faster paced. And then it was announced. And it wasn't really a surprise to me because I figured that they were going to do it anyway. And for me, I don't mind that it's gone. I honestly don't. Something that I always hated was humping and executions and things like that. And for me, getting rid of it just speeds the game up so much. We'll come on to execution in a bit. That's just been announced. I'll leave that how it is. But in TDM and King of the Hill, which is now Domination, and obviously you couldn't have it in free-for-all due to kill stealing, but yeah, specifically in TDM and Domination, I think it'll just speed up the game so much. It's going to be so much quicker, so much faster paced, so much more action. You're not going to get downed and then just be sitting there waiting for something to happen for a good 5 or 10 seconds. It's just going to make the game a lot more fun. And, you know, I can understand where people are coming from when they say that it's not Gears anymore. You know, they're taking away a big thing that used to make Gears what it is. But you're right, this isn't Gears anymore. It's not Gears 4. It's, you know, it's removed from the trilogy. They can change it. You've got to change up games. I feel like a lot of people, when they have a go at all these changes that are being made, they just want Gears 1, but updated to have Gears 3 mechanics. Like, what's the point of that? Just go play Gears 1. You know, if you want to play TDM with downs, go play Gears 3. You know, there's enough people that will want to do that to allow you to do it. You just got to find them. But, you know, games need innovation. They need improvements. People complain all the time about FIFA and Call of Duty that they're the same every single year. Well, as soon as a change is made, like for Gears of War, people complain that way as well. Like, game developers can't really win. But I would prefer to see changes, to be honest, rather than just keeping it the same every year. If I don't like it, then fair enough. You know, they've at least tried, and if I do like it, it might be better. It might be an improvement. And just one thing I would like to say is that there is an added secret sort of benefit that not many people, I haven't seen anyone mention about no down button out. But it's that if you assume that, say, the damage to kill you is the same, then you're going to have much more chance to get away from, say, rifle fire than you would in Gears 3. Because if a Lancer is shooting at you, for example, as you're running somewhere in Gears 3, you get downed when you're at, say, 80% health, and then that's it, you're dead, basically, because they're just going to lance you down or come and kill you at close range. But now, without downs, you're not going to be dead until you've got your 100%, your health is at 100% degraded. So, you know, it's a secret added benefit that it's going to be less rifle heavy, this game, I think, because there's no downs. You know, you're not going to die as quickly, and that's what I found when I played Overrun using a Lancer. It seemed to take a lot more to kill people with the Lancer than it did in Gears 3. Now, I have heard that the damage to kill someone, like to actually kill them, is exactly the same. So it's just the fact that there's no down button out that means you've got more chance, more time to get away. And that's a benefit for me, I think. And also the fact that there's no kill stealing. Like, I wonder how many people who always complain about people stealing the kills complained about down button out being removed. Like, what do you want? They've solved the kill stealing issue by taking away down button out, but you want it back in? What's going on with that? I was, got reasonably annoyed with kill stealing, and I got more annoyed with people humping me and stuff like that. So the fact that all that's gone now, it just makes it a much more pleasurable gaming experience for me, and that's what it's all about. I just want to have some fun, basically. And, that's good. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it the way it is, with no down button out. I'm going to have to see how it plays, of course, but with the announcement, I don't mind it. I'm honestly not that bothered. And I'd just like to finish up on this point by restating that this is Gears of War. It still plays like Gears of War. There's still a cover system. We've got the same game types, the same weapons. There's so much about Gears of War that make it what it is. Removing down button out doesn't completely erode everything else that makes Gears of War what it is. And you have still got down button out in campaign, and you've got it in overrun in a fashion, and now you've got it in execution, which I said we're going to talk about in a little while. So it's not removing down button out totally from the game. It's still there. The Gears of War is still what it is. They're just trying something new in a few game modes to see if it makes the whole thing a bit better, a bit more pleasurable, a bit more enjoyable. And I think we should give it a chance, just give it a chance. So there's just about 2 minutes left of this video, and it's gone way longer than I expected. I probably shouldn't be surprised, because each of the things that I've talked about could have been a video on their own, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely took me a lot longer to go through what I've needed to go through than I anticipated. So what I'm going to do is, in my next video, I was going to just talk about weapon balance. But what I'm going to do is make it part 2 of this video. So my next video, handily, the gameplay for that video is also the game that takes place exactly after the one you've just watched. So that kind of works out quite well. So next video is going to be part 2 of this gameplay. It's going to go over all the things that I haven't gone over today. If you want to see it, subscribe or click the link in the top right, which should show up about now. And if it's already available, that'll take you straight there. So I'll just close out this video by talking once again about the gameplay. We absolutely dominated in that last round. Me and Drakov just turned it on massively. I ended up getting 14 breaks because that's what I felt that's all I was doing. 22 caps, was MVP for this game. Drakov went really hard with over 50 kills. And in the end it turned out to be an enjoyable win, But we stayed with these guys for the next lobby, so in the next episode you're going to see what happened in that game, and that's just as good, really. So stick around, wait for the next video, which is going to be part 2, and I'll go over everything else that I haven't done so far in this video. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.